So let me just get this straight. We lost 3 in a row. Crystal Palace, tough game. Yeah, fair enough. Brighton, probably should have won that game. We should have won all 3 of these games I'm mentioning. Southampton. But then we go up against Chelsea and Man United and win both. Arsenal Football Club, everyone. But I am so happy. And I'm going to be honest, you know, and if a lot of United fans are clicking this right now and they're angry, and I totally get why, we didn't necessarily play that well today. And, you know, I've said it over the years, top teams win games while playing badly. And I'm not saying we played badly, but I don't think we were even the better side for the majority of that game. Manchester United got very unlucky. Let's start with Man United. You can see the goal scorer here, Ronaldo, of course, should have probably taken the penalty. We'll talk about that later. With their lineup, they were missing Varane. Not Varane. They had Varane in there, definitely. They were missing Maguire, benched today. I was kind of sad to see that. I think it would have been probably worse for them today if Maguire was playing. Maybe. And they also didn't have Pogba. So 2 key players missing. I mean, Pogba is a bit hit and miss, but Maguire has certainly not been great this season. That would have helped Arsenal. So you could argue missing Pogba weakens them, but having no Maguire might have helped them. They set up to win the game for sure. It looked very promising for them with Elanga going down the wing. He had the pace on Nuno Tavares, who was questionable today. Sancho, I didn't think had a terrible game, but they collapsed within the first 3 minutes, and that completely ruined the opening kind of 20 minutes for them. I reckon if we didn't score that early goal, this game would have been very, very different. A lot of decisions went against them. I'm not going to lie. I'm a very fair and honest fan. I'm not going to be sitting here biased and saying Arsenal deserved the win today and all the decisions were correct, because they weren't. The referee had, I think, a very poor performance today. The VAR team didn't seem to help. And if I was a United fan right now, I'd be feeling pretty frustrated, well, angry, mad, depressed at that result. It wasn't a 3-1 loss, but it was. It happens in football. So, United fans, although this might feel like the end of your top 4 hopes, and of course, it's going to ruin your weekend, an early kickoff on Saturday and you lose. But the thing is, you've got a brand new manager coming in next season that's, I think, one of the top young managers coming through. Erik ten Hag will absolutely galvanise this squad, and you've still got individual brilliance. It's just about tying it together with a few signings, and mark my words, Manchester United will be better next year. I was just thinking to myself, they finished second last year. What happened? But anyway, look, this is predominantly an Arsenal channel when it comes to football reviews. Let's talk about Arsenal, who had, I think, a poor game today. Realistically, we actually had a poor game. We got a gifted early goal through bad defending, and Tavares found himself in a really good position to slot it home. And I'm going to give him credit for that. And one thing I'm going to say about Tavares, because, my God, it's so stressful watching him, he, I think, is way more suited to being a left wing back, a left mid, or even a left winger. I don't think the defensive side of his game is good enough. He reminds me of just a headless chicken. He doesn't know what he's actually trying to do. He gave away a penalty. He got a stupid yellow card. The amount of passes, if he gets them right, we're on the break, that he fluffed up, it's really quite frustrating to watch. And may I remind you, he's up against a teenager in Elanga and Dalot. Now, Dalot, or Dalot, however you say his name, I rate him. He's a good player. He hit the post after a really good save from Ramsdale. He also hit the bar in the first half. But Dalot and Elanga, it's not like we're up against Man City or Liverpool's wingers or even Tottenham in a couple of weeks. When we have Kulusevski, Kane and Son running down our wings, this would not have been a win for us. We would have got absolutely thumped today. So I'm going to be realistic here and say Tavares should have had a better game, even though he's got his goal. And at times on the attack, he does some good things. But the amount of times he shoots with that right foot, I think one of the commentators said it, that there was one really big chance for him. He cuts in on the right. And fair play to him for using his right foot. He's clearly quite comfortable on his right, even though he's left-footed. And I know Arteta's a big fan of that. It's why we bought Tomiyasu as well, who came back on. He came back on for Arsenal for the first time in God knows how long. it's good that he's able to do it, but he just constantly smashes it. He just goes for power every time, and I'd like to see him caress the ball, finesse the ball, have a bit more calmness in his shot. El Neni and Xhaka pivot. Honestly, El Neni, I mean, he's got the highest match rating here on FOTMob. I don't disagree, but for me, Ødegaard was our best player. Again, he's been carrying our team at times. But El Neni and Xhaka, I mean, you could argue Xhaka was actually better than El Neni, but just an unbelievable game from both of them. What I love about El Neni is that he's understated. No one notices him. He's not doing anything crazy special. He just does the basics really well. Of course, we miss Partey, and of course, El Neni's not the one for the future, but he's come in and should start for me until Partey's back. Him and Xhaka, really, really solid, and Xhaka's goal, Xhaka boom, really good. Gabriel at fault for Ronaldo's goal. Don't know if I agree with that. When you're up against a world-class player like that, they do just have a step ahead of you all the time. So otherwise, I thought Gabriel had a good game, and so did Ben White. It was great to see Tomiyasu back, by the way, at the end there. Already just reminding us how much we've missed him. He's just such a good player. And Nketiah, I thought, had a really quiet game, but for me, Smith Rowe had the worst performance. I don't think he did anything. So that was a little bit disappointing. And let's have a look at the stats down here. So expected goals heavily in Arsenal's favour. You could argue that the chances we did have were better. But what I will say about Manchester United is the chances they were denied. They should have had another penalty. And if you didn't know, there was already a penalty given. Bruno took it and hit the post. Should be giving that to Ronaldo. I don't care who you are. Ronaldo, one of the greatest penalty takers of our generation, of all time, you could argue, has an incredible record. And yeah, he could have missed as well, but you give that to Ronaldo. You just do. Guys, United fans and Arsenal fans and neutrals, would they have scored if Ronaldo took that? I know most of you are saying yes. Bruno just has not been in form and doesn't look confident at all. But there were some definite errors from the referee, and I think, you know, this stat, you should never look at expected goals too much, because of course it's goals scored that matter. It doesn't matter how good the chance is. If you don't put it in the back of the net, who cares? But this number would be a lot higher if the referee had a better game. So United fans, I do feel it. I do. I don't think there's any other stats I really need to look at here. It's just such a huge game for Arsenal. Of course, this takes us back into the top four with Tottenham playing Brentford later. And I'm telling you, okay, Brentford is not an easy game right now. They've been flying. They've actually had 3 wins in a row, 4 wins out of the last 5. And Tottenham have a tendency, like Arsenal, to bottle it when it really matters. I would say, out of all 20 sides in the Premier League, who is the most likely to bottle a huge top 4 opportunity? It's Tottenham or Arsenal, and we're both fighting for it. And I think, honestly, it's probably over for Manchester United now. Arsenal have an extra game on them still, and we're 6 points clear. It's just not looking good for them. 1 win in 5 in the Premier League. I still think Tottenham are most likely. I'm sorry, Arsenal fans. I know you probably will hate me saying that, but I think they just have a more experienced team. They've got Harry Kane, Son, Kulusevski's been great since joining. They have to be the favourites with the easier run-in as well. But if they lose or drop points today, things will happen mentally, and it won't be good. It really won't be good. And also, I'm getting a lot of questions about the City-Liverpool race. I still believe Man City will go on to win the title, even though Liverpool have the momentum right now. The way I see it, though, is Liverpool will also be very aware they're still in all 4 competitions, and that is going to be quite taxing mentally as well. So until maybe they're out of 1 or 2 competitions, I still think Man City will win the title. But do you know what? I hope that Liverpool can kind of withstand that pressure. It would be an incredible achievement. And even as an Arsenal fan, I would be amazed by that if they win all 4 tournaments. I don't think it will happen, though. I think Man City will still win the title. Anyway, we have some of your feedback. I've asked for your comments over on Twitter, hashtag Operation Arsenal. The clock end, great win, but it was very nervy. Yeah, I didn't mention Ramsdale. The passing out from the back has been suspect recently. Gives me heart attacks. Things could have gone very differently, especially in the second half, with United missing the penalty and hitting the post and the bar in the first half. Despite the yellow, thought Xhaka was superb. He really was. Actually, I'd like to change my mind. I think Granit Xhaka was man of the match today. I do. Nathan says Tellez and Bruno cost the game. Yeah, the Xhaka goal comes from Bruno just losing the ball in a stupid area. I mean, you could argue that all goals have an error in them that lead to them. Most goals, 90% of goals are because someone's lost the ball or whatever. I don't think Tellez had a bad game necessarily. I think he's miles better than Luke Shaw, but I can't really remember what happened. Overall, United did not do terrible today. Still not good enough. Wait, hang on. Are you a United fan? I think you are. Fair play to you. I agree that you didn't do terrible, but it's still not good enough. You've got to come and win that game if you want top 4. DS Coffee. Erdegaard, White, Xhaka, El Neni, and Saka all brilliant. Cedric and Tavares going to give us a heart attack. And Ramsdale maybe trying to do too much, but with a really good save on Dalot. Yeah, that save. Oh my God. There's 2 things I need a replay of right now in 4K slow-mo. The nutmeg Erdegaard did on Varane, World Cup winning, Champions League, multiple Champions League winning Varane, just nutmegging him. So beautiful. And the save that Ramsdale made to push Dalot's shot onto the post. I mean, honestly, Fernandes scores his penalty, Dalot shoots and scores, we lose the game. It's these fine margins. And honestly, if you go back to those 3 losses in a row against Brighton, Southampton, and Crystal Palace, I think other than the Palace game, which was obviously awful, the other 2 games, things didn't go our way, whereas today they did. That's football for you. We would have won those games on another day. We had the chances, especially against Southampton, but Forster was just playing out of his skin that day. Next comment here from Ficus3. Scrappy second half and luck on our side. WTF? Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a scrappy first half as well. I think both teams looked so edgy and so nervous today defensively. But we did have luck on our side today, and this comment made me laugh here. Ref shocking. It's true. It was a bad refereeing performance, but as an Arsenal fan, I'm not going to be too upset about it, am I? Let's be honest. So yeah, I think that's it for today's review. I'm so pleased that we've picked up another win, because beating Chelsea and Manchester United shows that we can compete with the very best. I say that loosely because obviously Chelsea are champions of Europe until May, and Manchester United maybe not so great at the moment, but they're still Titan clubs. They're still easy slip-ups for us, and I call it a slip-up loosely again because it wouldn't be a slip-up losing to these teams. It's Arsenal. We're still not where we want to be. The fact we're even still in the top 4 race right now is an overachievement, in my opinion, this season, but the fact we are there doesn't mean we don't deserve it and we shouldn't be going for it. Ultimately, I still believe we will finish 5th. I think Tottenham will just about pip us to it. They might win the North London derby and get top 4. And if that happens, I'm not going to be upset with the season in general, because we would have taken this. Before the season began, 2 8ths in a row, the last 2 seasons finishing 8th. It was vital we got back into Europe this year, and I would have taken Europa League football. I would have. It's just the fact that it's there now. We know. It's in our hands. If we win the remaining games, we will get top 4. All we have to do is win every game. Simple as that. Beat Tottenham. So it's still in our hands. I think, as I've said a few times, that Tottenham still are the favourites. But do you know what? Watch them play Brentford today. If they collapse, then of course the title, not the title charge, the top 4 charge swings in our favour once again, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching, guys. I am a super happy man. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my weekend. I'm about to go watch the F1 sprint and lots more football to enjoy.